Hello, good evening everybody. Welcome to AIMS India live session Biology for class 8. What is science? One of the interesting lesson we are going to begin today. In this class, we are going to study about the basic facts related to science, the definition of science, how the science come into the existence. So let us start. Children who are in live session, please listen carefully. What is science actually? It is amazing to think of the facilities available today, isn't it? What facilities do we have? We are enjoying the comforts. We are gaining the knowledge by utilizing different media, the computers, the mobile phones, the internet, space shuttles, robotics, hybrid food grains, medicines, whatnot, everything. Health and wealth is in the hand of science. Then how we are enjoying all these things? How? Because some of our great scientists or many scientists, they spend everything for the discoveries and inventions. For the discoveries and inventions, they spend almost their lifetime and achieve their goal. So that we are enjoying now. Isn't it, children? The above all the ideas which are originated in some human brains. A computer not come from the sky. It has come from the brain of human. The internet which we are using, without which our life is miserable. We are so dependent. So that is also come from the brain of a human being. They are all the people who think differently to observe and understand the nature in a specific way. Okay. All the inventions and discoveries, they are from the nature. How they have come out? They have come out from the brains of the human beings. So, what is a scientist? A scientist also a human being. So not a robot. A robot also designed by a human being. Okay. So what is the difference between a normal human being and a scientist? A scientist think differently. A scientist possesses scientific attitude. Okay. As the lesson proceeds, we are going to discuss in detail about the scientific method in this lesson. Okay. Let us proceed. What is science? Science is concerted human effort to understand natural world. It is done through observation of natural phenomena and or through experimentation that tries to simulate or imitate the natural process under controlled conditions. Okay. So science is nothing but observation of natural phenomena What these special people, scientists do, they observe the same natural phenomenon under controlled conditions or laboratory conditions, which help them to discover or invent any new thing. Science is a process of thinking. It is a process of thinking, collective ideas, observations, giving work to brain. Science is a process of thinking. Science is an organized study of knowledge which is based on experimentation. What is science? It is organized study of knowledge which is based on the experimentation, the experiments and the results. Science is a tool for searching truth of nature. These are all the definitions. Science is a tool for searching truths of nature. Science is the way of exploring the world. Yeah, it is the way of exploring world. Okay, what we have discovered or invented means what we know till now is a limited one. There is unlimited things are there to invent and discover. Okay, so you may become a future scientist if you develop the scientific attitude. So let us proceed. Scientific thinking. What is scientific thinking? Questioning. It is the root of scientific thinking. So you have to question. Questioning is the primary or fundamental step in scientific thinking. Questioning is the primary of fundamental step in scientific thinking. Let's observe following experiences or some questions. Why leaves fall from the tree when they turn in yellow? A question. Think, children. Think and try to write in the notes your observation. Why leaves fall from the tree when they turn in yellow? So you have to think such a way why the green leaf is turning into yellow, and after turning yellow, why it fell down. Okay? It's a natural phenomenon. You have to observe. How ants identify sweets kept in a tin. In a tin or a jar, where if your mother kept a sweet, some sweet or sugar, and close the jar tightly with a lid, though these ants will enter inside. How? You have to think. Why cannot we see stars during daytime? So generally we will see the stars in the sky during night time. Why can't we see during daytime? There is some scientific reason behind. What is that? Think. Pickles do not spoil, but sambar gets spoiled. Why? So you have to compare a pickle and a sambar. What is the reason for spoiling of a sambar, and why the pickle retained for a long time without any damage? Okay. So this is also simple observations. Why diseases occur and how to prevent and cure. Okay. So what is a disease? How it occurs? What is preventive measures? How to cure it? What is the medicine for? Is the same medicine used for all diseases? No. Okay. What is the reason? So everything, every day, every minute, every second, you will learn a new thing by means of observation, by means of questioning. Why? How? What? Okay. These are all the questions. The searching for answer will help you to learn new things in day-to-day life. Next, observational science. So, science is an observational science. So, observational science, so many scientists, many biologists, chemists, physicists, so they will observe the natural phenomena and they develop the proofs and develop the hypothesis. That is, observational is the basic phenomenon. So, for example, ecologist. An ecologist observes the territorial behaviors of different animals. Okay? An ecologist observes the territorial behaviors of animals about environment and how the animals, why these animals, why the animal behavior is like this, how these animals are present in this particular region only. Okay, so like that. Geologist examining the distribution of fossils. What are fossils? Fossils are the nothing but dead remains of the plants or animals. So that study is called study of fossils is called paleontology. So a geologist examining the distribution of fossils. For example, dinosaur. Dinosaur exists some very long back, some millions of years ago, some thousands of years ago. But the dead remains of those dinosaurs can be excavated by these geologists and can be confirmed. Yes, this animal is existed so and so time. So by means of observation, a geologist examine the distribution of fossils, and an astrophysicist is photographing distant galaxies. Astrology, study of space. Okay, astrophysicist photographing the distant galaxies, his observations. Next, climatologist. A climatologist is shifting the data from weather balloons, weather reports. Okay, how we are getting the weather reports? Climatologists will give the weather reports. So, observational science, it is called observational science. Next, experimental science. What is experimental science? So, doing experiments. You might have done several experiments in your school science laboratory. Your science teacher help you or guide you in doing some experiments, some chemicals, okay, some animal specimen observations, okay, observing under the microscope, okay, doing some simple experiments. For example, you have done some experiments of test for proteins, carbohydrates in the 7th class, isn't it? So a chemist observing the rates of one chemical reaction at a variety of temperatures. Okay, rate of reaction. You know, chemistry. What is rate of reaction means? It's nothing but the speed at which a chemical reaction proceeds. A chemist observes how the reaction takes place, what time is taken for the completion of that reaction. Based on that, a slow reaction, a fast reaction, it depends on several factors like temperature, pressure, etc. Next, a nuclear physicist recording the results of angular momentum of particular particle in a circular path. Angular momentum, your physics teacher will give you the definitions of angular momentum. Okay? The quantity of rotation of a body which is the product of its moment of inertia and its angular velocity, that is called angular momentum. Okay, so a physicist recording the results of angular momentum of particular particle in the circular path. So different categories, different scientists their own observations, their own experiments. A biologist observing the reaction of a particular tissue to various stimulants is likewise experimenting to find the patterns of behavior. Okay, so the behavior of a particular tissue by adding some stimulants, some chemicals, how the tissue behaves, what are the results. So these are all experimental. So science is nothing but the experimentation. Okay, so a geneticist, he observed about the how the transfer of characters takes place from parents to offsprings. So particular branch of science, particular branch of scientists will do the observations related to that and put the results. Okay. Next, once again come to science. The word science come from the Latin word scientia. The word science come from Latin word scientia. The meaning is knowledge. Scientia means knowledge. The science refers to a system of acquiring knowledge. It is a system of acquiring knowledge. This system means science uses observation and experimentation to describe and explain natural phenomena. Okay. Science uses observation and experimentation to describe and explain the natural phenomena. The term science also refers to the organized body of knowledge. Okay. So by doing an experiment, parts experiment can be done in several steps. All those steps kept together and final output of that experiment is called the knowledge gained through that experiment. Okay. An experiment to test the presence of starch. What is the reagent used? Iodine. When iodine is added, then only it turns into blue color, that particular starch or carbohydrate. Means the experiment is nothing but the proof, okay, evidence. Then only a scientist word can get strength. We believe the truth. That truth can be derived by means of experimentation. So here in a science lab, you might have observed several equipments like conical flasks, test tubes, microscope, pipette, burette, spirit lamp, some acids, some models, okay, the model of molecule, model of DNA. So like that, so many things are present in a science laboratory. Okay, become junior scientist. After entering into a laboratory with the help of your teacher or the project works which are given to you, you do sincerely put your efforts and gain knowledge. Next, once again about the science. If you recall the definitions once again, science is a product, the product of experiment. Science is a process. The process involves several steps. There is an objective proof or evidence for each scientific statement. For every scientific statement, there is an evidence or a proof. Otherwise, it is not called a scientific statement. Scientific laws lead to correct prediction of future. Scientific laws lead to correct prediction of future development. So with the help of the scientific labs, scientific laws only, there is a development in the science and technology. So that's why scientific laws are very useful. Okay. So there are so many laws proposed by several scientists. All those laws have proof. The scientific statements are applicable to future research and practical life. Scientific statements are applicable to future research and practical life. So these are all the definitions of science. Science depends on observations and experiments, isn't it, children? Definitely. Science depends on observations and experiments. It develops scientific attitude. Science develops scientific attitude. So not only that, there are so many definitions are there. Science is a cumulative of knowledge. Science is an organized common sense. Science is an organized common sense. Science gives training in scientific method. Am I correct, children? Science gives training in scientific method. And science, it is the scientific statements are systematic. Scientific statements are systematic. And science expresses the discovery of truth. Own definitions. You can frame your own definition by means of the interest, the enthusiasm on the subject will help you to learn many things. Okay? Science expresses the discovery of truth. So any doubt, children, in these statements? It's a product, it is a process, it is an objective proof or evidence for each scientific statement. It is a correct prediction of future development, and the scientific statements are applicable to future research and practical life. Science depends on observations and experiments. It develops scientific attitude. Okay? You can develop scientific attitude. Study about the different scientists which you come across in your regular textbook. Study their biography, autobiography. Okay? Edison, how many times he failed. Okay? So success stories are there, failures are there. All those stories of the scientist will help you to develop an inspiration, and you can move forward towards the, you have to search such that your future is that subject. Okay? Put your 100% efforts, children. Now come to our subject, biology. A beautiful subject. Biology is the science of life. Its name is derived from the Greek words bios, means life, and logos means study. Okay, Jean Lamarck gave the term biology. The meaning is bios means life and logos means study. Study of living organisms is called biology. A biologist. So every living organism, particularly human being, is a biologist. Okay, every day you will learn something. The biologists study the structure, function, growth, origin, evolution, and distribution of living organisms. So biologists study the structure, function, growth, origin, evolution, and distribution of living organisms. So it is a vast subject divided into several branches. Biology is such a broad field covering the minute workings of chemical machines inside our cells, right from the cells, to broad scale concepts of ecosystems and global climate change. Okay, it is a broad field. See here, this picture showing right from atom, molecule, cell organelle, cell, tissue, organ, systems of organs, organism, population, biosynosis, ecosystem of communities, populations, ecosystems, biomes, and biosphere. The entire living organisms on this earth together called, or the entire living habitat on this earth together called as biosphere. Okay? So this biology is if you consider biology as a tree, it has several branches. Okay? The branches like the biology is divided into botany, zoology. Basically two branches. They are study of plants is called botany, study of animals is called zoology. So actually up to 7th class you studied science, general science, which include the concepts of physical science and natural science. But when you come to the 9th, 8th class, higher secondary education, 8th, 9th, 10th, intermediate or 11th and 12th classes, your subjects are segregated. The science is segregated into physics, chemistry, biology, and biology again divided into botany, zoology. So you are going to study the different concepts of biology in the coming lessons. So children, today what we have learned. What is science? The first topic in your regular textbook. Quiz 1. Science is a tool for searching. What? Those who are in live chat, please try to respond. Science is a tool for searching many problems. Amazing to think. Truths of nature. History of nature. So science is a tool for searching? Yes. Most of you answered C. Searching truths of nature is called a science. Truths of nature is called a science. Next. Science is an organized study of knowledge which is based on controlled conditions, phenomena, experimentation, observation. Science is an organized study of knowledge which is based on, yes, select the right option. The controlled conditions, phenomena, experimentation, observation. What is the right answer? Yes. C. C is the correct answer. Experimentation. Organized study of knowledge is nothing but, or it depends on experimentation. In order to conduct an experiment, you need to gather the information. You need to gather the equipment or requirements. Then you can start the experiment. And experimentation is the proof. Next question. A geologist examines the territorial behaviors, distribution of fossils, rate of reaction, angular momentum. Geologist duty is he examines the distribution of fossils. Distribution of fossils. B is the right answer. Come on, children. Easy question. A ecologist examines the territorial behaviors, distribution of fossils, rate of reaction, angular momentum. What is the right answer? Yes, an ecologist examines territorial behaviors. Next question. A nuclear physicist examines the territorial behaviors, distribution of fossils, rate of reaction, angular momentum. The options remain same, but the question is changed. A nuclear physicist examines the angular momentum. Very good. D. D is the right answer. Next. A chemist examines the. Once again, the options are same, but the question here, a chemist examines the territorial behaviors, distribution of fossils, rate of chemical reaction, angular momentum. Come on. Yes, correct. Rate of chemical reaction. A chemist examines the rate of chemical reaction. Which language does the word science come from? English, Greek, Persian, Latin. The word science, scientia, a Latin language. D. Who tries to understand how certain conditions are passed from one generation to another generation? A geologist, a biologist, a genetist, an ecologist. Who tries to understand how certain conditions are passed from one generation to another generation? We have discussed with children. What is the correct answer? C. Genetist. A genetist is the scientist who study on heredity. Heredity means the transfer of characters from parents to offsprings or children. So children, yesterday a quiz, an examination was held, AIMS India, for from 3rd standard to 10th standard. Most of your friends utilized that opportunity. In order to write that exam, you need to download the AIMS India app. Okay, the guidelines are given in the Sundays, the Saturdays YouTube live class. So once again, you can go through that live class, how to purchase the course and how to attempt the quizzes, and that will be very useful for you. Thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe our channel. By subscribing the channel, you will get the live updates. Utilize the opportunity and utilize these vacations with the help of AIMS India. AIMS India is with you, and help you in your academics. Thank you.